Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we are going to start working on the Basically Amazing Printable Scrapbook Album template. These printable templates are available in my Etsy shop and I will have a link down below in the description box if you want to go check them out. So these are the Basically Amazing foundations. So this is like the base of your scrapbook. This is like the beginnings, like anybody can do this from the beginner to the seasoned crafter type of templates. Everything is a square, everything is a rectangle, a square or rectangle. There's not a whole lot of fancy, but you can make it fancy with what you have in these templates. So you can either do super simple or go super elaborate. If you want to see every page that's in this template, I have an introduction video. I will link it up here and it'll be linked down below, or I'll link the playlist, one of the two, that shows you that everything that's in this template. So every page from beginning to end. So this here is my workbook. So this is the workbook that I made, and I did not make this on camera. This is made the exact same way as, I think, the last workbook I made on camera. I will link that video up here and down below as well. I've made my workbooks many different ways. You could do something as simple as a binder and sheet protectors. You do not have to do it the way I do it. I laminate mine, but you can do yours however you want. You don't have to put them in sheet protectors at all. You can just use like folders. Whatever you want to use is totally up to you. But the way I do mine is I laminate mine and I cut a slit in the top so that I can store extra things that I print off or whatever in the pockets. So I'm going to show you really quickly what I did in this workbook, and then we'll move on. And today we're going to make the covers and the binding, and I'm going to show you the basics of how to put the pages together. So no matter what size you're making, all of these things that we're going to do today in this video will hold true. It'll work for every size. We're going to start with the small size. This is the smallest size. This is size D. So we're going to start with this. We're going to make the covers. We're going to make the binding. We're going to make some of the pages. I'm going to show you two different ways to make pages using the set of templates. So this is the first size we're going to start with. But again, any size you can do the exact same thing. You just need to pick which cover size that you want to use. Oh, look at the glare. Sorry about that. What can I put over here? There we go. So the first set in there, this template is huge. There's like 109 or something pages. But the first half of these templates, like to page 48, are the base templates. So what I mean by that is I have the mats on top here. Oops. There we go. I haven't I haven't ripped these apart yet. So this is page number 1A. This is the cover for the largest album. But the mat for that page is 49A. Now I did not mat, or I did not laminate those pages. The last page I laminated was page 48, and that's still a main base. So the mats for that are on page 95. But I did go ahead and laminate the pages that were like Polaroids and Instat type pictures or type embellishments. I did go ahead and laminate those, and I have traceable templates for those just in case, and that was it. So I did not I did not laminate the matte pages. So from page 49 to 95, I did not laminate those pages. So I just printed those out onto cardstock and have added them to the page that they mat. Okay, so that is the covers. The first, another thing I want to remind you guys, the first 5 pages, 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, and 5, do not have background designs on them. They're supposed to be plain. They're traceable only. And then there's mats for each one of those, and again, I printed those onto cardstock, cut them out, and attached them to the traceable template for the cover. Okay, so someone notified me that there was an issue with the plain set PDF, and they were right. If for whatever reason, I don't know how it happened, but the plain set somehow duplicated the pages. So there's 2 of every page. I don't know what happened. I really don't, but I have fixed that now. So today is December 17th, 2019. If you purchase that template, any one of the templates that are there, if you purchase that before this date, then contact me through your purchase and I will give you a new PDF for the plane. If you purchased it on December 17th or after, you have the correct PDF. So anyway, it's no big deal. It just, I don't know what happened. Just holler at me and I'll give you the corrected PDF for the plane. I've already pre-cut all my pieces, but no matter which size you want to make, so if you wanted to make the largest album, which is the 1A, then you trace that onto your chipboard. You need 2 of those, and then, whoops, this one keeps sticking to it. I think I need to use some static, like a dry, what's it called? Laundry sheet, a laundry, what are those called? Fabric softener sheet. I need to rub that over top of it. So no matter which size you're making, you're gonna need 2 covers, and then you're gonna need to decide if you want the big spine or the little spine. The big spine is for 4 pages and the little spine is for 2. And remember, with this template, you can have up to 9 pages total if you use the 4-page spine. But what we're doing today is I used page 4D. I have 2 of the D size covers cut out already onto medium weight chipboard. And then I have 2 of those. And then I also have the matte, or I'm sorry, I also have the 2-page spine cut out of the medium weight chipboard. So I have a special Amazon list specifically for this project. So you can check out the different things that I use in that list. Or if it's more from a specific place, I'll have those links down below as well. But anyway, so you need 3 pieces. You need 2 of 4D. If you're making the D size, and then 1, I've got the 2-page spine, and then page 6 is the binding strips. So I did something different this time. I have not tried this yet, so this is an experiment for everybody, for me. We'll just experiment together. This is page 6, and I printed it onto Tyvek. You can get it in sheets, you can get it in rolls, and you can print on it. I actually used my laser printer to print this, and it almost kind of melted it a little bit, but because, you know, laser printers are super hot. The reason I did this is I wanted to experiment because I made 4 of these already the exact same way, the covers that we're getting ready to make, except for the Tyvek. I just used regular cardstock for the pages, and I didn't have any issues at all with tearing except one time, and it was I slipped with one of my tools and I kind of like ripped a little bit, so I had to repair it, which was fine. It's not this one, I don't remember which one it is. I repaired it and you can't even tell, but I thought, let's try the Tyvek and see what it does. So we're gonna give that a whirl. I don't think that if you just use cardstock, again, I've been throwing these books around there. I have 3 or 4 of them, and nothing has happened to any of them except that one where I slipped. But anyway, so you're going to need a page number 6. I haven't decided how many pages I'm going to put in this yet, but we're going to start with the 2-page strip. So you need 1 of those. And then, let's see, I'm going to put this up for now. Oh, this chipboard here, I can't find my chipboard. I bought tons of it when I was working on my Crafty Companion, and I can't find my chipboard. I've put it somewhere. I've put it up. You know how you put things up, you know, where they're supposed to go, and then you can't find them, or you hide them from yourself. I do that all the time. But anyway, so I just grabbed, this was recycling from something, but it's the same thickness as the medium weight chipboard, because I grabbed it as a test, like a little scrap of what I normally use, and it's the same. So we're going to use this, and I'm also going to be covering it with some coffee tea stained paper. And then I've cut me a couple strips of Tyvek for the spine. So they're 3-inch strips, and I don't know how long this is, but it's taller than the covers, but the 3 inches wide, and this one I think is shorter than the covers. Yeah. So you need a couple strips for your spine, and then these pieces here I'm not going to show you how to coffee tea stain paper. I'll try to link some places down below where you can purchase your own if you want to purchase it through Etsy. There's a lot of talented people that make some beautiful paper. It is very time consuming, and if you're part of my Facebook group, you know my nails were messed up when I decided to do that last week, but I needed some more paper. But you can do your own, or I'll try to link a video below. You can see how to do your own. But either way, if you want to check out some wonderful Etsy sellers, there's a lot of people there that sell coffee stained paper. So what I did was, this is large paper. This is 11 by 17 paper. It's very big, but it's just like copy weight. It's not thick, it's not cardstock or anything like that. So I coffee stained, it's actually coffee tea vanilla stained, these large pieces. And then for the two covers, I just cut them down to 12 inches by, I guess it's 11, because it's 11 tall, but then I cut it off at 12 because I figure if you're not going to coffee stain your own paper and you're going to use cardstock, you're probably going to use 12 by 12 cardstock. So I did that, so I got a couple pieces of that. And since I'm using coffee stained paper, it's not it's not ironed or anything. It's really can you see? It's really like bumpy and wavy and wrinkly. I'm going to be covering the whole cardstock with tape. But I probably shouldn't even worry about it because I made all of these covers with coffee stained paper of all four. I also have a video where I do a walkthrough. So I'll just make sure I link that playlist for this whole set of templates down below and up in the corner, because it'll start with the introduction video and then it'll show you the prototype, or I flip through all four prototypes. But I made the covers all the same way with the same coffee stained paper. So, and you end up covering it up anyway, so I may not even, I don't know, but I probably will. I'm probably going to go ahead and cover the whole chipboard. Alright, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to attach the spine piece to this piece of tie-back. So I'm going to move these out of the way really quick. And, yeah, I'm going to attach it down in the middle here. So I'm just going to cover this whole piece with tape. And I'm going to see what size. I have a 1 inch. I have two. I'm going to use this 1 inch. And then I'm going to add the 1/4 inch. So this is just sequin, or I don't know how you say it. People make fun of the way I say it all the time, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to do it this way. But you could use several layers of whatever your favorite double-sided adhesive is, or your favorite liquid glue, whatever you choose. And I'm just going to use a block here to tear it. It's not my favorite way to do it, but that's really big, thick tape, so it's hard to just cut it. All right, then I'm going to take a 1/4 inch. I think this one is scrapbook.com tape. I will link that below. It's a good price for what you get. Okay, and then you want to burnish it really good. This is a Teflon bone folder. And I got a new tool, and I don't know what I think about it. This is a We Are Memory Keepers Crafters Essentials Weeding Toolkit. And I didn't realize it was this gigantic, because normally I use this to kind of help pick up the back of the tape. But I saw this when I was on, I think it was at scrapbook.com, and I saw this and I was like, ooh, I'll try it. So it comes with 4 different pieces. There's 2 like thingies, tweezer type things, and then there's a spatula, and then there's this like point thing, what's it called? It's made by American Crafts. Dual end tool, pull apart for easy use. I don't know. Anyway, it's gigantic, you guys. I don't know how I feel about it. So we're gonna keep using it. I'm gonna try to use it. I've been using it, trying to get the hang of it, so we'll see. But basically, you just use it to get up underneath the backing of the tape. And that's what I'm using it for. Or, you know, I'm sure it has an actual specific use. that I'm not using it for, but that's okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to center this on here. It doesn't even have to be perfect. I am going to wrap it around the cover edges, so I do want to make sure that there's space on the top and bottom. Then I'm just going to burnish that down really good. All right, so I'm going to leave that sit aside there. And then for this, let's see. Yeah, see, the 11 is just not quite long enough, so, but the 12 will be perfect. So we're actually gonna wrap it like this. We're gonna butt it up to that edge. We're gonna cut a bit off, and we're gonna wrap the edges. That's how we're gonna do these covers. So I'm going to, let me get my Score Pal cutting mat. And then I've got this huge roll of 6-inch tape. Again, if you don't have this, you don't have to have it. I'm just using it because I have it. You can do several strips of the other, or you can just use liquid glue. So the way I do this is I just lay this on here. So I'm pretty much covering the whole back side of this with tape. And I'm going to slice it with my craft knife. And then I'm going to slice this off. I'm going to hang on to this. I'm actually going to hang it from my tripod, I think, because I'm probably going to be able to, whoop, come back. I'm probably going to be able to use it. That's very weird looking. Well, I wish y'all could see that. Okay, so then on the back side here is a fully covered sheet. So I'll do the other cover off camera. So then what I want to do is I'm going to take the backing off. We'll try to anyway. This is not wanting to come off of here. Come on. There we go. I just had to get my tool up underneath there. So I'm going to save this just in case I need it. Alright, so I'm going to pull my paper back over here. And then I'm just going to hold it up at an angle. And if you don't get it perfectly straight, it's okay, because this edge here will be covered again anyways. I need to try staying on the camera, don't I? I feel like you guys are kind of far from me. I might have to scoot you closer, I think. Alright, so I flipped it over. Now I'm going to burnish and try to get any air bubbles out. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to cut it and leave about 3/4 of an inch on that edge there. No biggie. So I'm then going to take, this is a stylus. This is a pencil Teflon stylus. I really love it. I saw somebody had left a review. I forget where I saw it, but they were like, oh, it's too bendy. It's not very, it bends in my hand, and they didn't like it. And that's one of the things I like about it. I feel like it takes some of the pressure off of my hand, you know, and it doesn't rip the paper, and I love that. I am wearing the point down, but I think you can file it back down to a point, but I am wearing it down. It's more stubby now, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of like prep these folds really quick. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this corner off. I'm going to cut it off about 1/8 of an inch away from the corner. You could use your perfect trim corner. What's this called? Perfect trim ruler. You can use this if you want the perfect corner. But with this really thin paper, it it doesn't hurt if you don't cut a knob off. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be 100% accurate. What I should have done before I did that though was put my tape on, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to take 3/8 of an inch score tape, or do I want, what do I have? Let's see what I have. I'm gonna use a 1/2 inch maybe? I'm gonna use a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go along the edge. Now again, if you don't have a 1/2 inch, do not, oh look, I've got that scrap too left. I need to use that. So, hang on. Will it fit on my edge? Oh, I moved you again. What did you see? Whee! I'm gonna use this on the edge here. Maybe I'll use it here. Right? So I'll put that on the chipboard itself because I'm going to go around and do that as well. Okay, so again, I'm going to go back to my 1/2 inch that I had out here. I'm going to go along the edge of the paper. Just like that. Ah. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to go along this edge, top and bottom here real quick. I think this might be the last bit of 2-inch tape that I have, or 2-inch, 1/2 inch tape. I don't use it very often, but you know, if I've got it, I might as well use it. All right, so then you want to take a minute and you want to go and burnish all that tape down. Right? All right. So what I like to do is I like to do the top and bottom, and then I come back and do the, see, it's just such a weird like little hook thing. I don't know. And then come back and do the side. I'm going to peel this back just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it up and flip it over. Just like that. Right, so then I'm going to do this side. So weird getting used to a new tool. So I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I thought, oh, I'll give it a try. Why not, right? And I felt like, oh, that'd be cool. Be like a 2 for 1. You know, because I use the spatula stuff when I have to unstick things. So I thought, well, look at there. That'll be good. You know, eliminate a tool out of my space. But we'll see. So I'm going to tuck these little corners in just a hair, even though it's just super thin paper and it's not really going to matter. And then I'm going to take this one off. And again, I've got a little extra hanging over there. I'm going to flip that around. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these edges. Okay, I'm going to do the other one off camera exactly the same way, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got both front and back covered, and then I got my spine piece ready to go. You saw that already. So now I'm going to attach these to this spine piece really quick, and I'm going to use the score tape. This is 3/8 of an inch, and on that raw edge that we did not wrap, I'm going to run some tape down this edge, like that. And I'm also going to run a piece down this edge. Actually, I'm just going to go on here. I'm going to line it up with the spine piece there and not go further. Just because I don't have to. So I'm going to do that on this piece. And I'm going to do this side as well. And I'm going to do this piece. Again, the raw edge. I'm going to flip it over to the side that's covered. To the coffee stain side of this raw edge. Run some tape down the edge there. And I'm going to burnish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the backing off of this spine piece here on the Tyvek piece, and I'm going to remove the backing from one of the covers, the tape, and I'm going to leave myself a really generous gap. I'm thinking maybe 1/4 of an inch, right under 1/4 of an inch, maybe. A really generous gap here. And I'm going to try to line it up as best I can. I did okay, right? So you see that big gap there, right? I really want that to be a good flexible gap. I'll flip it over and I'm going to burnish it down. You can kind of see a little bit where the tape overlapped a little bit, but that's okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this other side. And there's no direction right now because this is just, you know, plain solid cardstock, so to speak. And again, I'm going to do a generous 1/4 of an inch-ish gap. Woo! Glad I didn't push down. I was not straight. Try to match it up pretty good. And lay it down. Flip it over. Burnish that down. Okay, so now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this edge. I'm going to wrap this over. I'm trying to figure out the best way that I'm thinking I might do it. I'm just going to add tape, I guess. Normally I don't like tape getting in between there. But if you cut it like that, if you just snip it apart, then it won't be an issue. So I'm going to put a piece there, and then I'm going to put a piece here. And did I tell you I ran out of my 1/2 inch already? Yep. So let's see how that does before I put tape on the other part. Grab my little garbage bowl. I made a video on how to make that garbage bowl. I will link that up there and down below as well. That's from my Crafty Companion. Okay. I think I should just be able to put this over like that. And the reason I'm wrapping this around is I don't want that to tear. Like, I don't want it to be so vulnerable right there in those grooves. So that's the reason I'm wrapping it around so it doesn't rip right there. Yeah, that worked just fine. So I'm going to do that again over here. It's funny, I think I do my album covers different almost every time. I don't know why. I don't know why I change it up. I don't know why. I don't know. I have no logical reason. But I do. I feel like I do it different all the time. But that just goes to show you there's no one way. There's no one right way to do it. Because no matter how you do it, it's probably going to be just fine. Still not sure about this tool. I'm going to have to get used to it. See if I like it or not. So I'm going to reserve my opinion on it for now. Alright, put that around. Okay. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is I've got this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and add this piece on. So this is 3 inches by the mat. So the mat that would go on the covers, that's how tall this is. It doesn't need to be that tall. I'm gonna cut it down just a little bit. Actually, I'll just use my scissors. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit because it does not need to be that tall. I don't want it to be showing through when I mat the whole thing. Do you know? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stick that there. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of mark it a little bit with my bone folder. I think I'm gonna put tape on it in quadrants. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. It's too small. So I'm just gonna go. You could, again, you could use a liquid glue for this, if you so choose. And a lot of people do, and that's totally, totally fine. Get my edges here. You don't want to skimp on the construction part of your album, because if the base of it, if the main part of it isn't good sound structure, then the whole book will just fall apart, and you don't want that either. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the center 3 that I have here. Whew. My elbow is still hurting. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. I'll hold it up on its edge there. Right, so again, the only tape that's off, the only backing that's off is in the center. Go ahead and burnish that down. Okay, so then I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to take just one more backing off. So I'm going to kind of get that in the groove there. So I'm using like the edge of the bone folder there. Then I'm going to take the other piece off. Alright, and I'm going to burnish that down. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here. That allows you to get this down into that tunnel there, that groove. And it makes it a lot more flexible and it doesn't get stuck or bunch up or anything like that. So, okay, let's get this piece off over here. Oops, it's a little crooked, but you're not going to be able to see that anyway. So, okay, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to push in there in the grooves. So now we've basically got our cover constructed. We just need to cover this part and the whole inside here. I haven't decided if I'm going to do this in, I think I'm going to do this in pieces. So we're just going to cover excuse me, all of this. I wonder if I should do this first, the inside first, and then wrap the outside. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to, I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to lay this on here real quick. And I'm going to lay my ruler down and draw a line. I could tear it, I guess, if I wanted to. going to attach this here. Okay. I guess I could measure. I guess I could go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. No, I better not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut it down. This is my big honking heavy duty Fiskars Precision paper trimmer. I love it. I think I'm going to cut this too. I don't guess it matters because it'll all be covered in the end. I'm going to do a 3-inch strip just like last time. The same as the tie back is. I'm going to kind of hold this on here, and I'm going to kind of, again, give it a little, like, guide of where my tape needs to be, ish. Because we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to grab my tape. I'm going to cover this the exact same way I just did the tie back. I'm going to stay in my guide there so that I can just take a little bit of tape off at a time. So now I'm thinking I should have done it the opposite way. I wasn't thinking. So I should have wrapped it around first and then put this piece on. But again, either way you're going to have a seam somewhere, right? So, alright, now I'm going to wrap the outside part. So I'm going to take, again, I'm going to take a 3-inch strip from that piece I cut off of that earlier. Take a 3-inch strip here. Should I go a hair bigger? Yes, I should. Let's go 3.5. I'm gonna add an extra 1/2 inch. That way I make sure I cover all of that tie back. Okay. So same thing. I think I'm gonna try to kind of give myself a guide where I need to keep my tape between. And I'm going to cover this with tape. Oof. Yeah, I better go ahead. Should I cover the... how about if I do it here? How about if I put tape here? Let's do it that way. Wouldn't that be easier? I think it might. I think it might. See, it's so funny. I'm telling you, I think it's like, I do it different every time. I might put it on the edges of this piece. I haven't decided yet. Because I did go a little bit bigger width-wise. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta think on your feet, you know. And then I think I'm gonna do 2 1/2 inches or 1/4 inches. This one would be fine with just one. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2/4 inch. I don't know what happened there. It got off a little bit, but that's okay. So I just want to be able to take the strips off that I need, not all of them at one time. So okay, while I have this tape out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape. I better not tape all the way down. I'm going to tape just the edges. I'm going to come about 3/4 inch down from the top and the bottom. Both of these edges here. burnish, burnish. Burnish. Okay, let's take these middle pieces off. This is going to be tough. So, I need to check out, like I'm shaking. Oh, wow, look at the difference. Jeez. Come on, let go. I have not pressed. I have not pressed. Okay. There, I just kind of like judging. I'm giving myself a way to like get this in the center, sorta. There's always a good way to do things. I just never seem to pick that way. I always just do whatever way. All right, I'm gonna take a piece of tape off of here really quick. That's one of the 1/4 inch pieces. Burnish that in. But you do it your favorite way. I'm sure this isn't your first rodeo either. And if it is, well, you do it my way and then you come back and do it to your own way and you'll be surprised. Or you'll be like, I'm going to tweak that a little bit. I'm going to try it this way. That's how you learn, by doing. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to do it. Alright, there's one side. Did I still not get that all the way to the edge? Oh, I did. I'm just not burnishing it. Alright, over here, take off this piece here. This one's not as crucial as the inside one is. But it does make a cleaner look in the end, I think. Okay, so we got that part done really nice. So then the next we need to wrap these edges and then that'll be it. So I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to cover these pieces. I might cut that. There's a little bit of extra. I might cut that off because I don't think we're going to need it to cover what we need to cover. Okay, I'm going to take my, there's just like a little bit of a sliver left on each end that doesn't have tape on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut those off. Alright, I'm going to remove the backing. Letting my bone folder help me there. Alright, same on this side. Okay, so now we got a super flexible cover where you can turn it either way. Right, inside out, outside in. Fantastic. Okay, now let's move on to the binding. So this is on page 6. Again, I printed it onto Tyvek. And I am going to, I guess I could go ahead and, I'm just going to trim them all out, sort of. Like I'm going to trim the top and bottom out. Ah! Did you see my Tyvek shifted? Bad Tyvek. I cut too much off. Look at it. Oh well. That's okay. Daggone it. Okay, let's try not to do that again. Trim top and bottom. And then I want the first set of 3, sections is for the 4 pages. But we're not gonna, we got the 2-page binding going on, so I'm gonna cut that away. I'll put that in my workbook. And then, let's see, how many? I think I will add, I'll show you how to add extra pages. I think I'll do that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut one more section with the 2 pages. I think that's all I'll need. Right, and so there's this section here and then this section here. I'm going to put those up for now. Oh, I just pushed you out of the way. Gosh, I'm having a time with my camera today. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to separate these 2. I'm going to, now this section here, if you notice, there's 3 marks in the middle. You see that? Is it focused? I can't tell. 3 marks in the middle. You want to score the 2 outer marks, and then after we do that, we're going to cut down that middle. And then that is for the add-on pages. So there's this section here is for the main, binding strips. This is the main binding strip there. Alright, I'm going to get my scoreboard. And this is a We Are Memory Keeper scoreboard. And I'm going to score. I don't know if the Tyvek, I don't know how easy this Tyvek's going to let me. I might have to tape it down because it's so slick. I'm going to try to score it. It doesn't want to let me. It's so slick. Okay. Okay. We'll go up there and down this way. As long as I stay on that line, I'll be okay. And then we're going to score these 2. Let's go up first. Down. Okay. So there's one drawback of using Tyvek as your binding pieces, because it's slickery. Is that a word? Slickery? I don't know. It is today. It's definitely slickery. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and try to prep these a little bit. Oops. Got off a little bit. Again, it's okay. It's totally fine. It's not going to hurt anything either way. I need to figure out what that beep is. It's driving me nuts. I wonder if you can hear it on the camera. Oh. Okay, so for this one, I did want to go inside out because I want to go ahead and ink one of these edges here. Just this edge here. This is, what do I have? Walnut Stain Distress Oxide. I thought about changing which one I used, but I changed my mind last second. So why is this important? I guess you'll have to, we'll have to show you later why it's important to go ahead and ink those before you put it down into your book. And because it may show, that little bitty edge there may show. Go ahead and get that top one there. So you want it to have something. I guess it could be white. If your book was white, you know, your binding strips can be stark white. Not a problem. But I almost never do anything stark white. Okay, so there's the main strip. And then this one, let's see. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and prep it just like I did that one. Okay, so for this, the main piece that's going to be the main binding strips, I'm going to flip it to the back side and I'm going to add some tape. I might have to use 2/4 of an inch. This 3/8 may not be big enough. But if I do 2/4 of an inches, it might cover the whole space there. Let me do that real quick. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, right in the middle here, right along where I inked it. And it's still, 1/4 of an inch still might be too big. That's okay. And I'm gonna burnish. Okay, and so for this, I'm going to do the same thing in between, in the middle here, right next to the ink line we just did. Uh-oh. Shoot. Ran out of tape. Perfect. Oh, I had grabbed the wrong roll anyway. Okay. But that's okay. Okay. Burnish this down. And I already burnished this one down. So I'm going to add this main one in first. So let's check it really quick. Let me ink the top and bottom. Alright, so it's going to go right here. And if you leave it open like this, you can see exactly where your pages need to be. Remember, I actually cut this one slightly short, so that's what it's kind of looking like. It might be a little short, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing from here, and then we're going to add this to the binding. Or I mean to the spine. I'm going to try to remove this. I don't know how I feel. Oh, I know what the problem is. I see what's going on. It was over top of that plastic. Okay. So I'm going to try to center this up. Best I can. Place it down. Oh, pretty good. Not bad. Well, gotta be careful with this Tyvek. A paper will do it too. Paper will get scored wrong, or if you burnish it too weird or whatever, it might like score it differently than it already was, but don't worry about that. Okay, so we got that down, and what I'm gonna do, so why am I adding a page? Why am I doing this part instead of doing the 4-page binding? The first album we're gonna make is gonna be the simplest version of this set of templates that you can possibly make, and that's what I think I'm gonna do. The simplest version you can possibly make. But I wanted to have more than just 2 pages, right? So I didn't want a really big, thick one because, again, it's going to be mostly flat. There's not going to be embellishing going on. So I'm going to add a page on either side of this binding strip here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. I think I'm going to do it with my craft knife. I might have to tape it down because it's so wiggly. I don't even need to line it up. I'm going to tape it down now because I don't want it moving around on me. And this is just that purple tape that you can get. Nothing fancy. So I'm going to get my ruler, take my craft knife, and I'm going to slice right down that center line. Like that. Now we got 2 pieces. Remove this tape. I keep that tape on my tripod. I use it over. Oop! See, I moved you. I use it over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So now we got 2 separate pieces, right? So what you want to do is take one of them. Let me make sure. Make sure it's the same height. It should be the same height, or pretty darn close. You're going to take one of them. Take the backing off. I don't know how I feel about this thing. Okay. And all we're going to do is we're going to butt this 1/4 inch part right up next to whoops, the tape just fell. Right up next to the binding strip we just put down. We're just going to follow right along, just like that. Right? So now we've added another page on this side here, right? Easy as that. You could add one into the center here, like that. You can do that as well. But I'm going to leave the center open because I think I'm going to show you too, how, if you wanted to make this like a traveler's notebook style, show you how to add the elastic in there as well. So I think we'll do that with this album too, because it's small and it's the perfect shape for like a traveler's notebook style hybrid mini album situation. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this side. Remove the backing off of this piece. What do we got here? We got like an extra something. Okay, and again I'm going to lay that on here. Tuck it right up next to the binding strip that's already there. Oops, I did get off a little bit. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm just going to cut just a sliver of it off because we can adjust when we put the pages down. No big deal. Okay. So now I need to ink that edge really quick, sort of. Alright, so now we've got 4 pages into the 2-page spine. We got four fins anyway. So we got 4 fins in there. So again, I've never used Tyvek for binding strips before, but we are going to learn together. Okay, I think it'll work just fine though. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do in this video today. It took a little longer than I thought to demonstrate. So I think the next video I'll show you how to do the 2 different styles of pages. That way so this video just doesn't get super long. Okay, you guys, that's all we're going to do today. So do let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I'm super excited to get started on this series. I love these so much. You guys are going to just love what you can do with these albums. It's just amazing. Don't forget to turn that bell notification on, like hit that bell and then turn the notifications on. And I guess that's it, you guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye.